Hi everyone, the Mature Simmer here. Welcome to the lesson on controlling time. In this lesson, you'll learn why you want to control time, how to control time, and how to advance to the next day. Let's begin. So why would you want to control time? One of the main things that will contribute to your enjoyment of Farming Simulator is the passage of time in the game. If time passes too quickly, you'll feel rushed. If time passes too slowly, you'll get bored. What you need to figure out is what game speed you typically like to play at. Keep in mind this can be different for different games depending on what your goals are. You may have watched videos, people doing different types of Let's Play, where they're doing perhaps a survival challenge, or they're doing a realism situation, or they're simply trying to advance and make money. All of those may determine different passage of time. So how do you control time? If we look up at the bar, we can see that it is just a little after 7. It's 19:11 or 7:11 p.m. And the number below tells you that the time is passing. In this case, 5 times speed. So what that means is the time in-game is passing 5 times faster than it is in real time. So basically, 1 minute in-game occurs every 12 seconds. Farming Simulator 22 defaults to 5 times when you enter a game, but you can adjust that setting, as mentioned earlier, depending on what your goals are and what you'd like to achieve. If you play on the PC, some keys are already mapped as a default, and they are the 7 and 8 keys. So if I hit 7, I will slow down time so you can see now I've gone to 3 times, 2 times. So at this point, basically every 30 seconds, a minute will go by in the game, and if I go to 1, the game is operating in real time, meaning that the passage of time in the game will be the same as in the real world. Farming Simulator 22 also lets you adjust to half time, which basically means that every minute in the game will be 2 minutes in the real world. So if for some reason you wanted to progress very slowly, you could do that. If we go up, you'll see that it does increment 6, 10 times, 15, 30, 60, and 120 is the highest that you can go per the base game of Farming Simulator 22 without any mods. So I'm going to slow it back down to 5 times. As you can see, it very quickly got dark. If you are on a console, there are no default controls mapped. You would have to go to controls and map them if you would like to operate time settings via controls. So what if you can't operate them via controls? Well, there is a second way to change time, and that is through the menu. So if you hit escape, and you can go to the game settings, you'll see here time scale, and you can adjust the time here, and you'll notice that the time should look very similar, or exactly the same, as what you saw in game. So those are the 2 ways you can change time: through controls that you've either mapped or are defaulted, or through the menu. How do you advance to the next day? At this point, it's dark here on the farm. My day is done, and I'd like to go forward to the next day. How do I do that? You do that through using your sleep trigger. The sleep trigger on your first farm is located at your farmhouse. So you can find that on the map and then hit the spacebar on the PC to visit, or the appropriate console command. You now want to head toward this exclamation point, and you'll see that in my controls, I now see sleep. At this point, I can select sleep, and the game will ask you, what time do you want to wake up? You can adjust this somewhat, so you can wake up as early as 5 a.m., like a lot of farmers do to get their day going, or if you don't have much to do the next day, you can sleep in until 9 a.m. So any time at the top of the hour between 5 and 9 a.m. are your choices. I'm going to go ahead and wake up at 6 a.m. You simply then hit sleep, and you'll see a graphic of the sky as time passes with the real weather, so if it's raining, you'll see that. And you'll see some property maintenance is taken out, but we've also advanced from August to September, and the sun is now rising over your first farm. So that is how you'll advance to the next day, so that if you're done for the day or you just want to move things forward, you just find your sleep trigger and do that. And you can continue to do that if you'd like. So if you wanted to sleep multiple days in a row, you would just repeat the process. There's no requirement that you go off and do anything. And if at this time, based on what you're doing, you want time to pass faster or you want time to pass slower based on the work you've got planned for today, you can adjust that. There's no perfect way, or there's no single way to use time within Farming Simulator 22. You as the player will determine individually how fast you want time to pass in any game you're playing. That concludes the lesson. We'll see you next time.